been clear about saying that you will veto overspending by Congress when they come back next month to do appropriations bills. You've also been clear you don't want to raise taxes. Can you do justice to the kind of programs the government needs for bridges, for housing, and also continue to spend as much as you do with the war in Iraq?
One can meet priorities if they set priorities. The problem in Congress is they have trouble actually focusing on priorities. Appropriators take their title seriously, and they all feel like they got to appropriate, which means there's a myriad of priorities. And so what the role of the president, it seems to me, is to help Congress focus on that which is important. We have a debate over that, which is important, of course, but one thing is that we shouldn't have a debate over is whether or not it's important to fund our troops in this war against radicals, extremists, the war on terror. And I think we'll be able to get that kind of cooperation. I would hope that they would get the defense bill to my desk as quickly as possible. Part of my concerns, of course, is that there's different sets of priorities in both bodies, and it seems like to me that the Congress needs to come together, solve their differences first, and then bring them to the White House and see if we can find accommodation. I have proven in the past, though, Ann, that one is able to set priorities, keep taxes low, grow the economy, and reduce the deficit. In other words, we have cut taxes and causing economic growth, which caused there to be, this year alone, 187 billion more tax dollars coming into the Treasury. The deficit is reduced to 1.5% of GDP, which on a 40-year historical average is very low, or is low, below the average. And we've proven that you can set priorities and meet obligations, and so the Congress needs to learn to do that itself.
And that's confident that you can continue to sustain the kind of level of spending that you've invested in Iraq?
I would certainly hope so, because when you say sustain the level of spending, you're mainly talking about making sure our troops have what it takes to do the job we've asked them to do. And I know there's a lot of members who don't agree with the decisions I made. I would certainly hope they would agree, however, that once someone's in combat or in harm's way, that they get the full support of the federal government. That's exactly what their families expect, and that's what the Commander-in-Chief expects as well.